Hello, everybody, and welcome to Write Something Weird. I'm Sophie Stern, and I'm here with my wonderful guest, the one and only Ivy Cole. Hi, Ivy.
Hi.
So, Ivy and I have known each other for a couple of years, and we've done a lot of signings together.
So many.
I was trying to think before the call started. We've done Boozy, we've done Lit and Libations, a
Mm-hmm.
couple at Karma. What am I
Mm-hmm.
missing? What else have we? Oh, we did Rendezvous with Romance together.
Yes. Yes. We did that one. I feel like we did so many at Karma. I think that was like the first place that we actually like did a bunch of things at.
I think so too. Yeah, that was such a fun vibe, and that space was so cool. Those were fun signings.
Very fun.
Very fun. But Ivy, could you tell us a little bit about what you write?
I write Why Choose Romance. For those that don't know what Why Choose Romance is, Why Choose Romance is when the main female character doesn't have to choose between her love interests. She gets them all, so the answer is yes. There are no annoying love triangles.
That's so funny. You know how I feel about love triangles. I'm not a fan. And so I love Why Choose. What made you decide to like dip your toe into writing Why Choose?
I'm trying to like remember the first book I ever read. I feel like I'm pretty sure it was a werewolf romance. And it was like just a random book that I got from the library, and it was an audiobook. And I was like, oh, wow, she gets them all? This is the best thing ever.
That's really fun.
You
Yeah, I
always have like
agree.
those book boyfriends, and you're like, I can't choose between the book boyfriends. And now you don't. You get them all.
Yeah, now you don't have to. And you have a new book coming out in April. Can you tell us a
I
little bit
do.
about that?
Um, it is Operation 244, and I looked up the date. It's coming out April 30th. It is a futuristic military-based book. It's for all my baddies out there that were prior military and are still in the military. So this story is about a our main female character. Her brother had a spinal implant which allows him to walk. The spinal implant augmentation industry is sort of like the new pharmaceutical company area where they're giving high tech things to those that can pay the amount of money, and then the lower end things to those that don't exactly have the ability to pay for the higher end stuff. So her brother ends up dying due to a malfunction in the spinal implant, and she wants revenge. So her bestie turns her to a group of ex-military personnel that formed a group under contract with the military that sort of do dangerous things because they're prior military. They all have augmentations, implants, prosthetics, stuff like that. And they are secretly trying to take down the industry. So she ends up joining the group, and in joining the group, she ends up falling for two of the guys, which I'll let you guys read that to find out who they are.
Okay, first off, congrats. You wrote a book. That's amazing. I feel like you've written quite a few books, and I feel like every time like a new book comes out though, it's like worth celebrating. It's such a good
Like
feeling.
your new book baby that you're giving it to somebody, and you're like, I don't
Yeah,
know if it's good or not. I hope they love it.
it's good. They'll love it. It'll be great.
It'll be
That's
great.
fantastic. No, it sounds really good, and I love the backstory, and It just sounds like it's really like passionate and exciting and very action packed. Is that fair to say?
Very action. Yes, it's got a lot of action in there and also a little bit of vulnerability on the side of the ex-military personnel. You sort of get that peek into the world of those that have disabilities, those have
Mhm.
PTSD, anxiety sort of thing, where like people on the outside really don't get to see any of that.
Yeah.
And so this kind of book sort of lets you peek into the world of how people with prosthetics could possibly feel um, with eyes on them constantly, or how they perceive people looking at them and how they perceive what people think about them.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I don't know if you know, but I'm married to a veteran. And so I really love any type of romance that kind of addresses those issues,
Yeah.
especially like PTSD is such a big thing. I love seeing that represented in romance.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it sounds like your story deals with a lot of like really heavy topics. What was the inspiration there?
I think I just really wanted to write a book that had a lot of variety as far as disability representation, as well as like ex-military representation. As somebody that's prior military myself, you I don't feel like a lot of people see in behind the curtain of
Yeah.
what people go through after being in the military, things, the battlefield that's inside their mind that nobody
Oh
else can
yeah.
see.
Hmm.
How like a simple thing that could be, oh, they don't like fireworks, or they don't like this, or they don't like that. Well, on the outside, yeah, that may look weird, but on the inside, they've got 20 million things that they're seeing or flashbacks to and stuff like that. So I really wanted to kind of get that representation out there and sort of show how, like, yeah, this may be weird or may look different from your guys' point of view, but this is could be what's going through their mind, what you're seeing in sort of situation.
And they still deserve a happily ever after.
Exactly.
No, I love that. I think that that's one of my favorite things about romance is I love a good trope. You know this about me. Like I love a good vampire. I love a pirate.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. But I really, really love that even though we are framing this situation in like a beautiful romance, our characters can also have pain. They can also go through the trauma of like, oh, I don't have a leg, and maybe I feel embarrassed about that. Maybe it's
Hmm.
hard for me to deal with my scars, or maybe I feel awkward using my prosthetic. Like, I feel like having that as part of the love story is really, really important because it kind of shows that you do deserve a happy ending, no matter what you've been
Exactly.
through.
Yeah. Hmm. It was really fun. Like one of the main male characters, I really wanted to like experiment with like sign language and stuff like that
Mhm.
because my mom's a sign language interpreter, and my bestie is going to school to be a sign language interpreter, and I really wanted to mix that in. One of the main male characters is blind and deaf. He has ocular implants and also has auditory implants, and he has to turn them off and turn them on in certain amounts of time because they overheat. So it was a bit of that representation where he hates not being able to see, he hates not being able to hear, um, but also showing that, well, because he can't see and he can't hear, the team has to do certain knocks, has to do certain lights, has to do all of these things to sort of help him because in a certain situation he can't see, but they can make loud noises, or he's deaf in this situation. So they have to make bright lights or
Mhm.
do certain things like signing so he knows what's going on.
Well, and I like that it sounds like your characters also are very like community oriented and like
Hmm.
we can be flexible, right? Like we can help you.
Hmm.
So I love that. I feel like that to me, that feels very real, especially for like someone who's in the military or who was in the military, like having that camaraderie in a
Hmm.
book and then they get their happy endings. I love that.
Yes, very much so.
So do you have a favorite thing about writing romance?
I feel like as far as romance goes, I feel like I just like being able to give people happy endings, but I also want to show that like romance isn't this like rainbows and butterflies thing.
Yeah.
Like they don't just like automatically fall in love. Like there's this hardship that comes from it. There's work that has to go into it. There's all of these things. There's can be insta lust, but love is a completely different thing.
So I'm kind of getting the vibe that you like to kind of like torment your characters a little bit before they get that happy ending.
Just a little, just a
Just a
little.
bit. I feel like as a reader, though, when I'm reading and the characters are having a really hard time, when they do finally get to the end and they do get to be together and everything works out, I feel like it's just that much more rewarding.
Exactly. And
So,
plus, I like having those like broken characters where you're like, oh, this guy is so broken. But then, like, at the end, you're like, okay, he redeemed himself. Or,
yeah,
okay, I completely understand why he's the way that he is, sort of situation.
yes, absolutely. Like he's grumpy, but he had a good reason for it. That's okay. We'll forgive
Exactly.
it. I love that. So, do you tend to, when you're writing a why choose, do you usually have like two guys or three guys, or does it depend on the book?
I really feel like it depends on the vibe that I'm going for. There are books that I'm just like, I feel like there's only like two guys that I can really
Yeah,
make work in this book. Then there's like some books that I'm like, okay, I'm planning for this many guys. I need
yeah,
to make it work somehow, sort of situation. Like Snow White, you have to have seven guys because it's
yeah.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
That's how
So
that works.
kind of just gotta make it work, figure out exactly what you're wanting. Um, Different vibes, like Operation 244. There was just two guys that I really just wanted to be the main focus, and those were the two guys that she has. And then I'm working on another book where there's four guys, and I'm like, yes, this is the vibe that I'm wanting. Like four
Yeah,
guys, they're completely different. This is what's going on.
absolutely.
Hey.
Yeah. So, when you're writing, are all of your guys very different?
Yes. So usually I try to plan out like the vibe that I'm wanting for each guy. Sometimes I like already have a name picked out and I'm like, okay, this is what this guy is, this is his name, this is his attitude, his personality, blah 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 blah. And then I may in a different book I find a picture on Pinterest. I'm like, yes, that would be great for this book. And it's just like, okay, what would his name be? How is his personality? Da, 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 da. So it's mainly just whatever. I'm a full-on pantser when it comes to books, so
Okay.
I wing it and hope everything melds together by the end of the
That's
story.
what editors are for, right?
Exactly. It's like English is hard. This is why I have an editor to help English for me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I love a good editor. I feel like the right editor is so good at being like, I know you meant well. Let's
Exactly.
fix this. I think my favorite comment that I have gotten is, "Hey, your character was on this side of the room and then they teleported. What's the situation
Oh my
there?"
God. Um, yeah, my editor is doing her second read through for our Operation 244, and she's left quite a few comments. One of her comments was, "Wow, sweetheart, you are using B4 a lot in this story." And I was like, okay, well, what happened was I
Yeah.
was trying to use a different, transition word, and apparently that was the word that I decided to just constantly use. I'm sorry.
Yeah, here for that though. Oh, I think every writer has something that they overuse like that. Like, I know for me, I almost don't want to say this because I feel like now people are going to notice, but like my characters are always like cocking their heads, like always. And or like jutting their chins out. Like I don't really do that, but like my characters do. Like when
I
they're
did a lot of
yeah.
smirking in this
Yes,
story.
they're always smirking.
My editor was like, I feel like they're smirking a lot and they're laughing a lot. Can we like switch it up a little bit? I was like,
Yeah.
yes, please. Can you fix it?
Please. Wait, that's fun. And I think that's one of those like fun things about being an author is like I feel like the experience of creating the story is in many ways just as fun as reading it.
Exactly. And of course, like when you're writing it, you really don't like realize what you're writing until like you then have to read back through it and you're like,
Yeah.
what was I trying to say? I don't
Yeah.
even know what I
What was
was
the goal
trying to
there?
say.
Absolutely. And I feel like for me, that's one of the reasons that I love like spending time with other authors is to kind of get that feedback of being like, you're not alone. I've done that too. Here's the word that my characters always say.
Exactly.
So, speaking of other authors, I feel like it's really cool that we met at a book event and we've done a lot of book events together. And I really love just how much is happening in Kansas City in the book world. So, can you talk a little bit about like the writing community here and what you love about it?
I feel like the writing community has gotten so much bigger since I first started writing, which is a weird thing to say because I feel like I've been like writing and publishing forever, and then I look into my book and I'm like, oh, I've literally only been like published for 3 years. Okay, I'm really not that old, but but then I'm like, okay, but a lot of things have happened like over the last like several years. We've gotten more like signings. I feel like because we've gotten more signings, we're meeting more authors and people that can connect us to other people. Um, Especially like with Madison Chase, like meeting them. I've definitely gotten in contact with a lot more people within the community. Then you've got like Trisha and all these other people that are connected. So I feel like simply going to one signing, you can definitely, as a new author or even like an established author, you can get to know more people, and that I feel like is a great thing for the indie author community as a whole, being able to connect with so many people, because then you have a community itself just to rally behind you whenever
Yeah,
you need something.
I love that. And it's nice to know that we're not alone, I think. And to just have
Definitely.
that have conversations like this and be like, have you ever had a character that did ABC and you're like, yes, I did, here's
Yeah.
how I fixed that.
Exactly. Definitely. I feel like it's great. I feel like as indie authors, we often feel like we're fighting an uphill battle against all of the traditional authors that have like all of these bigger companies behind them, and us indie authors that are having to fight against the store that shall not be named. um, but I feel like that also helps us in a way of being um battle worn, I guess you could say,
Oh.
of understanding that, hey, you're not alone. Like, hey, I print with this company and I've noticed A, B, and C work in this company, or I worked with this company for this and this and this, and I've noticed A, B, and C works for this. Like, you definitely are able to learn more about the indie author community when you have a bigger community behind you.
So, what advice would you give to a new writer?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. um, and have an editor that is your ride or die. Um, I didn't realize my editor was my ride and die until she got pregnant and had a baby, and I couldn't have her for about 5 months. They're like, I need you back so bad.
Please come back.
I will publish around you from now on. I need you.
Oh, that's so
Um,
funny.
but yes, definitely like don't be afraid to ask for help. I feel like us indie authors are very sociable by nature. We are always willing to help. Um, so yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help. We were in your position once upon a time. Many of us that have been published for 5 years, 6 years, even 7 years still feel like we have absolutely no idea what we're doing. So don't feel like just because you're a newbie, you're alone in that thought. We still don't have any idea what we're doing. We're
I like
sort of
that.
just flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah, we're all just figuring it out together.
We're just winging it.
I love that. Amazing advice. Well, Ivy, before we say goodbye, where can everybody find you and find your books?
You can find me, of course, on Facebook. Ivy Cole on Facebook. I'm also on TikTok, Ivy at Ivy Cole author. So you guys can find me either places there. I have my own Etsy shop, Ivy Cole Bookstore. It has all of my paperbacks and my special editions there. Or you can just message me and be like, hey, I want your book.
I love that direct access. I think that's really cool.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, Ivy, this was so great. Thank you again for coming and talking with me about writing.
Of course, anytime.
All right, bye.
Bye.